Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Ora News broadcast. We hope that your weekend was a great one. I'm Daniel Cook, your host for the English Flash News edition, in which we present a translated version of the Albanian news. In today's news, the commune of Nova Sela is already quite flooded, and more rain is in the forecast for the coming days. The emergency staff and the Delta forces have been hard at work helping the citizens who have been stranded by the floods. Many of them have now been evacuated using helicopters. The rescued citizens are being sent to a nearby village that has not been affected by the floods because of its high ground position. There are still a lot of people trapped, however, and they are staying in the upper floors of their buildings, awaiting rescue. As time passes, the lack of food is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. There is no power in many of these areas, and it is reported that around 1,500 houses are under up to 2.5 meters of water. The flooding has turned Nova Sela into a giant lake. Many of the people of Albania have been feeling the effects of the heavy rains very harshly. In fact, more than 60 families in the city of Fier alone have had their homes flooded. The overflowing of the river Vjosa has flooded the houses of the residents there. The level of the water inside the houses is up to 1.5 meters, and the damage has been considerable. The swelling of the river has also flooded many acres of agricultural land. The citizens say that they have had great difficulties trying to pump the water out of their homes, and they were not given any assistance. The lack of help was also mentioned by the head of the commune, who says that the government is only putting on a media show and does not provide any real help. The damage in this area is already estimated to be up to 1 billion lek, but it is expected to get even worse as the rains are projected to continue over the coming days. The heavy flooding has also caused big problems for the people of Elbasan. The clean water pumping station has been flooded, leaving thousands of families without water to drink. In fact, around 2,000 families in Cerik are without drinking water as a result of the nearby river overflowing and flooding the area. The houses near the river have been flooded, and there is water covering the agricultural land as well. The citizens also have a shortage of food now because of the lack of accessibility. They also have expressed fear and concern, and they are complaining that no one has even come to inspect the situation. The swelling of the river has also damaged the old bridge. Ora News previously gave warning about the poor conditions of the bridge because of the complete lack of maintenance for many years now. The flooding has also cut off the bridge near the hydropower plant. Some villages are without electricity in the area, and the Librajt-Peshkopi road is blocked because of snow. Drivers on this road are advised to use chains on their tires. The Ministry of Internal Affairs says that the state police are standing ready and that they have been helping the citizens who have been stranded by the floods. The ministry has told the citizens that if they need help, they should call the state police at the number 129 and the Civil Emergency Service at 125. The Interior Ministry has provided some data on the current conditions. There is low-intensity rainfall in Gjirokastra, and 110 families have been evacuated from Levan. 70 families have been evacuated from Nova Sela. It has also been snowing in Korça, and vehicles are traveling with some difficulty. The national highway is currently okay for travel. Floods are running rampant through many parts of Albania, and the government is trying their best to provide as much emergency service as they possibly can. The Democratic Party has asked the Prime Minister to immediately establish a central emergency staff. They hope to double the presence of the governmental agencies in order to deal with the flooding situation. The local components of the Democratic Party, the MPs, and the local elected officials have all been inspecting the flooded areas. They are paying visits to the most problematic areas in the country, trying to be in touch with the citizens and to contribute to the management of the dangerous situation. The General Secretary of the Democratic Party, Arben Ristani, has paid a visit to the Novosela commune in Vlora. He asked for increased commitment by all the state structures. According to him, the situation is very grave, and the citizens' lives and properties are at very real risk. The government has launched a new anti-corruption online portal today through which citizens can safely blow the whistle on corruption. Now all citizens can denounce corruption using the online portal, and the government will consider all the cases that come to light. It has been announced that every denouncement will be reviewed within 30 days. But if there is a flagrant or urgent case, it will be looked into immediately. Prime Minister Edi Rama said that this new initiative is a weapon in the hands of the people, giving them the ability to safely denounce corruption cases. He said, "Today, those who have a mobile phone have a weapon in their hands to fight against corruption. If you do not use this weapon and denounce specific cases, but merely accuse the government in general of corruption, then the fight against corruption will not see results." The head of the government invited the citizens to cooperate and gave assurance that their voice will be heard. He continued, "Albania cannot be a country of corruption any longer. We must all together fight against this problem. Your complaints will go to one of 4 different places, all of which are connected. The complaints go to the highest levels, to the Prime Minister's office, to the responsible minister, to the Department Against Corruption, and to the department that will be at the citizens' disposal from today onward," said our Prime Minister, Edi Rama. The government has decided to put Albania's teachers through a testing system, much like they are going to do with the doctors. This plan has left the education syndicate quite divided, with different members supporting and opposing the test. In a hearing session that was held at the Media and Education Commission, 2 representatives of the education syndicate made the claim that putting the teachers through this test would be illegal. Meanwhile, the head of the syndicate, Kole Nikola, thinks that the testing is the right thing to do in order to measure the teachers' expertise. The MP, Mucherem Tafai, says that the testing of teachers is not necessary because the teachers already have to undergo the state exam. On the other side of the issue, the MP, Musa Ulcini, thinks that measuring the abilities of the teachers is a high priority at this point, and therefore the test needs to be done. Needless to say, the testing of the teachers has also caused debate between the majority and the opposition. The Feka family is having difficulty with the expense of bringing the body of their loved one back from Spain. The standard cost of transporting a body from Spain is around 10,000 euro, and the family cannot afford this amount. Sokol's wife chose not to reply when questioned about this issue. The other members of the family were also reluctant to speak, but off the camera, they said that they are simply waiting at this point, hoping for a time that the transportation of the body will be made possible. Ora News has asked the Spanish embassy in Tirana for official details on the procedure to bring the major's body back to Albania, but we have not received a response as of yet. Major Sokol Feka died on January 27th while transporting 1 ton of marijuana by helicopter from Morocco to Spain. During today's Security Commission meeting, there was a great deal of debate between the majority and the opposition. The topic of the discussion was the new law on the military police and the changes that are being made to it. The Democratic Party raised the concern that the changes have been made without first being consulted with the NATO partners. They also feel like the changes distribute some powers and competences that should belong only to the state police department. Arguing the other side of the issue, the Vice Minister of Defense, Mr. Petro Koci, said that the law is in full accordance with the EU standards. He says that the changes to the law will revive the military police from the legal lockdown that they have been in since 2007. The opposition cast their votes against the changes in the military police law, but it was approved just the same, only with the votes of the majority. The Institute of Public Health says that about 30% more people have come down with the flu virus this year than last year. According to the Institute, about 18,000 more patients with H1N1 or H3N3 have been diagnosed in only 2 weeks. The situation is more aggravated in the most remote areas of Albania. The Director of Public Health stated that measures have been taken about a month ago to try to cope with the situation. The flu has been more aggressive this season, and the doctors are appealing to the citizens to be cautious and to take care of their health. That concludes our news for this evening. We thank you for watching. Please join us again tomorrow at the same time for more Albanian news in English, right here on Aura News. Thanks, and have a great evening.